Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Nerida Miller. If you are seeking professional development tips to either improve yourself in your current field, begin a new career, well, it's time to innovate yourself and you're in the right place for that. So tag along, let's get to it. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 25 tips to help you achieve professional development. In my previous video, I shared tips on personal development, and they were mainly focused on goal setting and achieving your goals. And it really helped in mapping out how you can, link your goals, have achievable goals, reachable goals, and achieve them for this brand new year. But part of personal development is also professional development. And that brings us to this topic today. So I'm going to share these 25 tips with you. Feel free to have a pen and paper, a notebook, your phone, whatever you take notes in. And let's work on improving ourselves. Because why not? See, the thing is that regardless how long you've been working in your field, it's always crucial, it's essential to work on yourself within your field. Not just working on ourselves personally, but to innovate along with how our jobs may be innovating as well. Think about it. Within a few months or years in your field or in your job, hasn't things changed? Well, the same way we should also seek professional development to improve within our field and our jobs. And well, that brings us to our first point, is continuous learning. I'm going to be looking down because I took notes on my phone to prepare it to bring forth to you these 25 tips. So if I look down, I do apologize. I'm just trying to get these tips for you. So I love this, continuous learning. Regardless how long I'm familiar with something, or I think I'm familiar with something, or how long I've been doing a job, I'm always seeking a way to learn. I seek learning, I seek clarification, and I seek, that feedback so that I know that I could be confident in what I'm doing because I'm doing it right. See, rules change, things change all the time within my job. I currently work at a college and I love it. I've been there for a few years now. And I've seen so many changes, but me changing and me innovating myself professionally doesn't mean that I'm changing as a person. I am still Nerida. I still treat people with the utmost respect and love, and I have a passion for my job. But when I say professional development and innovating yourself professionally, is that we can always seek improvement and growth within our jobs, within our field. Career. Apply it to your situation. So on the same note, you can always innovate yourself. Because I always stick to this. If you think you don't have to learn anymore because you're all set, because you've been doing something for so long, this is where you're going to stay, right? I've always said this, like, if you think you're good here and you're stuck here and you don't want to learn and you know enough, guess what? When you look 5 years down the line and you look back, guess where you're still going to be? Right here. But if while I'm here and I'm good because I've been at my job for a long time, or I'm learning new things at my job, but I'm like, oh, I know this, I'm comfortable, I have that familiarity, and you don't seek learning or you don't seek improvement, you know what happens? When you do seek that improvement, when you do seek learning, and you do seek developing yourself professionally, you continue to grow and grow and grow and grow. And that's how you innovate yourself. That's how you're able to learn. What new information are you applying to yourself? What new strategies are you applying? How can you be a better employee? How can you be a better leader within your field, at your job? How can you inspire others? How can you help someone that's new? How can you be that person, that colleague to someone else and offer that help that once was given to you? So continuous learning. How can I improve and what do I need to learn? What's something new I could learn or improve on in my current field? And if you're watching this video and it's because you're seeking a career or an employment and you're not working yet, trust me, even once you land there, you want to have that continuous learning. Have curiosity, have questions, allow your thoughts to spark those thoughts of, hey, but how about this? What's this? That's going to open a whole new world of possibilities and learning curves for you. So always seek opportunities to learn and grow in your field. That part, I love it. So the second tip is networking. So build relationships within your industry for collaboration and support. Networking isn't just what you can get from someone. Networking is how you can work with someone and collaborate together. Many times people think, oh, networking, like, oh, I want connections. And when I hear people saying this, I'm like, that's not how it works. Like, networking is like you build relationships where you are. Networking means that you can shadow each other, learn from each other. Networking means that, yeah, someone can see how you work and you both can open opportunities and help each other grow within your field. And that's the beauty of it. It's a two-way street. You get to meet new people within your field and you get to really like innovate that part of your mind, hear different perspectives. When people are talking to you and getting to know you, that's gonna show good character. That's gonna allow people to be like, you know what, I can go to, and then that's that I've seen that in my job. When I first started, I felt like there was certain people that were like genuinely open to helping me, like judgment free zone. I didn't feel scared to like ask them, and it was like, oh my god, thank you, I'm new and I'm learning. And then I was able to become that for somebody else. So that's pretty neat. That's what networking is. And of course, why not? Many times people network because they want, they probably have an interest to work where they work, or just because, oh, I'm usually not out of my office and I don't know these people from another department. Hey, let's network, let's talk. How can we work together? Oh, I didn't know you did that. Oh, I didn't know that your job was like that. Wow, that's really interesting. And it opens a whole wide world. So I love it. I love collaborating with different people and departments, and it's nice to work together. Okay, get out the four walls, get out your comfort zone, and talk to people. Okay, so the third tip: set goals. Look, if you need a good video, I hope it's good. But if you need, I know there's 100 videos online about goal settings and achieving your goals. But if you need another video on goal setting, watch my previous video. I did a video on achieving your goals and goal settings to improve your personal development. And I think I shared some really fresh tips there. And I hope that you could go watch it. I'll try to put it up here so that you could benefit from that video as well. The fourth tip is seek feedback. This is crucial. Some people don't want to be told what to do, and some people don't want to be corrected, but we have to seek feedback, and I appreciate that. In the beginning I mentioned that I like to know, like, okay, I want to know how I'm doing so that I could work confidently, not like, oh, I'm secretly not doing well, no one's telling me. You see what I'm saying? So seek that feedback, that positive, constructive criticism. There's a difference, and I understand why some people are afraid of feedback, because you think you're going to be reprimanded. It could be scary. You think you're going to get in trouble. How is this person going to tell me what I'm doing wrong? Is it going to be scary? Am I in a safe place? Am I in a safe space where I could be told what I'm doing wrong and not feel terrified, right? Or is someone going to be able to share what I'm doing incorrectly, show me how to do it better, and then work with me, you see? So I get that sometimes seeking feedback could be scary, but we should be open and brave to seek that feedback, because if you're not able to seek feedback or constructive criticism, tips, advice from someone else, then you can't work on improving within your fields. Okay, so we should have that. Let's be tenacious. Let's have that spark of curiosity, like, okay, I'm doing this, but something doesn't ring right to me. Or let me just double check. If you're not sure, ask. And I always say this: if you think, you don't know. So if I'm like, I think this is like this, then I don't know 100%. Like, I'm saying this about myself, guys. Like, trust me, like, I've gone through a lot, okay? I've worked before, prior to my current job right now, and I'll do it parentheses, but prior to my current job, I worked somewhere else. And then in this current job, I've been here for years. And I love it because we're always learning something new and assisting different people. I see so many students and help so many families or people, and I love that about my job. But at the same time, when so many things constantly change, it's like, wait a minute, I've been doing it like this for this long, but now we're doing it like this. So I need to be innovative within my mind. And accept the fact and know that it's okay to have to work on fixing something that you've been doing one way, but now it's different. So now I have to ask my leader, ask my boss or a colleague, hey, I'm doing this, how do you do that? Do you do this like this? Is this, are we on the same page? You see, get that feedback, and it could be done in a very safe way. And also, guys, and with all due respect, right? It also has to do with pride. We're not gonna have pride. I'm gonna ask somebody, and it's not about, hey, I've been here so long, I know it all. No, I don't. Like, no one does. Even if someone looks like they got their stuff all together, they probably don't. And guess what? We all started one way or another. And one day, the person you're looking at started just like you're starting. And it's okay. And if you are watching this video, that means that you can seek feedback because you're already thinking about growing professional, okay? How are you going to represent yourself where you work? How are you going to be that example to others to know, hey, it's okay, we make mistakes, or we need to always just make sure that we're doing things right regardless how long we've been doing something. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm so excited. Okay. Tip number 5, and guys, this is a big one, okay? It's time management. We have to have good time management. I understand that prioritizing things to manage your time and organizing the schedule, all that, waking up early, setting an alarm, getting somewhere on time, being prompt, that can be very challenging to a lot of us. Time management. What does that mean? That means that I know where I have to be by when. How long do I need to leave to? I'm managing my time. Time management means not just with getting somewhere on time or leaving on time, but time management also means that I know I have certain tasks, I'm aware of deadlines, and I'm able to work on my task and focus on my task in a timely manner so that I could get everything that I'm supposed to get done. And time management is also recognizing what are my priorities, along with what I just said. What are my priorities and what has to get done today for sure, and what can hold. But the idea is that if I'm managing my time in a very wise way, the best way we can do it, right? Because it's a discipline, it's something we have to put into order, into practice. I know that I am being productive. I know that I'm not slack. I know that I'm not leaving things undone. And you know what, guys? When you have good time management, like when you're beginning to get in a flow of things and in a rhythm that you see yourself like, oh, wow, I'm here on time. I got all these things done before the deadline. I got things done. I set my priorities. I have things in order. You begin to feel a sense that you have some parts of your life all together, okay? And professionally, you are giving a good example, you're a good leader, good employee, and you are an asset where you are, because not only are you trying to work on making sure that you are doing your job correctly by seeking feedback and working on yourself, not only are you learning and networking with others and building teams and building collaborations, but you are also on top of your game with work. Nothing's unattended. Things are done, and you are you're golden, man. You're doing it. Let's do it, okay? Now, things happen, right? Life happens. It gets crazy. Many times we're bombarded with more than what we can chew within an 8 to 9 hour window, realistically speaking, right? We're not machines, we're not robots, but you can do the best you can with the time you have in your hands, okay? So with that being said, time management is prioritizing your task and completing your tasks effectively. Tip number 6 is soft skills. What are soft skills? What? I didn't even know there was soft skills, hard skills. I don't know what the difference was. But it's hone communication, leadership, and teamwork abilities. This is going to help you work in a team. This is going to help you work within your field. Now, it could be that your job demands you to have a lot of more independent working or independent learning, right? But many times we'll always have to come back together to collaborate and work together as a team. If we lack these soft skills, right? These skills that are more a common courtesy. These skills that should be already part of us when we're trying to work within a certain career. And I try to be careful saying that because these soft skills are skills that we should always strive to continue to work on, but it's something that it is good to have when you're going into a field. For example, a nurse. You are seeing a patient, but don't you always go back to work with a team and have to have good communication skills, right? That's a soft skill, is being able to communicate with your team members. So it's skills that you should already have before going into a job or a field, unless you are your own manager. And even then, you still need to have soft skills because at some point you may hire people, you're going to lead people. So it's always necessary in life, and it's good to strive for those skills. Another one is leadership, right? Leadership isn't just telling people what to do, but it's showing a team and being a leading example to a group of people on, hey, this is the goal, this is what you have to do, and this is how you do it. Come on, guys, let's do it together, right? So it's not just everyone, troops, go. It's more like, hey, we're in this together, but I'm gonna lead the way. And it's just, how are you going to communicate what needs to be done? How are you going to be an example? How are you going to set the example by acting that out? So it's really key. It's essential. And the other thing is teamwork abilities. Am I delegating my work? Am I holding my weight with the work? And that's going to go back into that time management that we spoke about. It's going to go back into networking. This is all connecting one with each other. And it's really just about being the best you can be at work to meet the needs and the goals of your field. Tip number 7, industry knowledge. What does this mean? I'm going to look down to read from my notes. Thank you for bearing with me. So stay updated on industry trends and changes. We spoke a little bit about this previously, and it's that as the movement of your job is shifting and innovating, so are you within your field and industry. Meaning, are there new rules that I need to apply? Now I need to adjust how I do my job. Are there new demands or challenges that I need to work with to adjust how I do my job, to prioritize my time differently? Is there a new leadership? Is my whole job changing? You see what I'm saying? What's an industry trend where you are? Are there new certifications that are being required for my current field right now that I need to strive to obtain so that I could remain within the standards of my job, to remain within the standards of what's needed right now in my current field? That's why knowing your industry trends and changes is super important, okay? And industry, it's a general word. It's, I have in my notes, but industry could be just within your job, your department, your field. The 8th tip is mentorship. This is so crucial, important. So, mentorship. Find mentors to guide and inspire your career growth. Guys, we all face stumps sometimes. Many times we're in a field for so many years, and how do you just refreshen yourself within your job? Who do you talk to when times get tough and challenging, when you feel like, oh my God, super overwhelmed and like what's going on, and you just feel it's becoming heavy, and you love what you do and you like where you are, but it's just so heavy, and you want to continue to enjoy your job, not feeling like this sucks, what's going on? Who do you go to? Who's your mentor? Who keeps you on your toes, in other words? And who gives you that constructive feedback that we were mentioning earlier? It's good to have counselors and mentors, people that can give you that, people that can give you that safe space to talk to about your job and know, like, okay, everything's gonna be okay. Maybe I was overthinking a situation and actually everything's fine, but I just need to watch out for this or consider this and improve in this area. Or, hey, actually nothing was wrong. You did very well, and maybe I was just in my head. You see, and then you are a happier employee because you could go to someone to be a mentor, but you can also be a mentor to someone else. Now, my 9th tip, it may strike some a little hard, Okay, it could be a little trick, but this one, you could do it, okay? And you may not even need it for your job, but I'll tell you how it may still apply. And my ninth tip is public speaking. I know, I'm sorry, but a lot of us don't like public speaking. Now, little story here. When I first started in my job, I was young. I was, I was still a teen. I was a late teen. I was almost in my 20s. And I was terrified. I had to do public speaking when I was starting at my job. And I was like, oh my God. In Spanish, we have a saying, trágame tierra. It's like ground, just swallow me. I want to hide, like go under a rock. Like Patrick, just go under a rock. And it's like, oh my goodness, what? There's so many people and I'm freezing and I don't want to go blank. I've practiced what I have to say in my presentation for so long and I want to execute this and I want to do well and I want to speak clear and I want to be understandable, but I'm just so nervous and it's getting the best of me right now. But over a period of time, thankfully, that my leaders didn't give up on us and we had a good team that we would practice together, and I'm just so grateful. And it's just like this, okay, we've practiced, we heard each other practice, and then the more that you present and learn to speak around others, you could begin in a group and then learn to speak with a bigger group, speak one-on-one to each other, and then within a big presentation, you'll become more comfortable with it. You become more comfortable with the idea of public speaking. But if you're like, Narita, it sounds great, not my jam though, and for my job, I don't need to do public speaking, that's fine, but it is a tip. Maybe it's something that you could strive for this year, and if it's something that you may not need, but guess what? Still learn to effectively communicate. Maybe is improving how we communicate, even in a small group setting, because it's still needed for every job. It's just people are everywhere. The people you serve, your audience, and then the people within your department, the people within your job. We have to be able to communicate. And if you could do that, you're doing good. Okay, so these are tips and we are halfway there. Okay, tip number 10 is adaptability. Things change, times change. We need to learn to be flexible and adapt. We may had an event, we had a plan, something happened, life happened, now we could shift. Guys, sometimes in life, it's okay to pivot. But the good thing is that we could still be successful at the end of the day. It's just knowing how to adapt to situations and still be able to execute the main idea of what you're trying to do. Okay? So with that being said, be open to change and adaptable, and be open to change and be adaptable in different situations, okay? Don't be too hard on yourself when things don't go exactly how you want it, because sometimes life just doesn't work that way. It's good that you have a plan and that you are prepared as a leader, as a nurse, as an attorney, as a teacher, as a janitor, as firefighter, whatever it is that your field is, but it's to be adaptable and breathe and pause and know it's okay. Tip number 11 is technology skills. Technology is great. Sometimes it could be annoying, but technology could be so beneficial when innovating yourself professionally. You can learn new tools and resources that could benefit not only you, but your team in working better and more effective. Who remembers a decade or two ago, we were using a lot of, files, and we were using and wasting a lot of paper, and we had a mess of stacks of just paper everywhere and files and folders. But now there's tools like, this is not promotion or sponsored, just an example because I use it and it works. Google Docs or Office 365, whatever it is that you use, or just a notepad on your computer. You could have different folders in an email and on your desktop to collect my documents, to organize my files. Who would have known, you see? And now there's so many apps out there and tools and resources to help you form teams, to help you have meetings. Like, look, years later, we couldn't meet through a laptop or a phone. And now there's things like, for example, Zoom. So that's an example. But as times change, there will be new, innovative tools and resources that can help our jobs be more effective in a more timely manner, and easier, honestly, okay? Times just get better and change. Yes, technology could be tricky at times, but if we give it a shot and try to learn, you could reap the benefits of it as well. So keep up with tech and advancements relevant to your field. Tip number 12 is work-life balance. But I'm gonna change this. Instead of work-life balance, let's reverse it and we're gonna say life-work balance. So guys, it wasn't me, it was someone on TikTok saying about how we are so accustomed to speak about work-life balance, but the focus is on work first and it's like we live to work. And I'm like, that struck me. That's facts. Like, if you think about it, that way, it's a different perspective. And it, in the back of your mind, putting work first, it shifts how you think about it and how you prioritize things in your life. But while work is important and it's good to work, right? However, we don't live to work. We work to live, and we work to, innovate ourselves, to do things that we enjoy to do. And also, people work because we need to work, right? We need to pay bills, but a lot of us work in certain places because we enjoy it and we need to pay our bills. We need to get paid. We need money, right? Let's be 100. Let's be real. And that's the reality of it. But at the end of the day, my life is not like, I don't live just to work. We have to break out of that perception. We have to break out of that just, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. That's just, I'm living, but I'm just working and paying bills, working and paying bills. Let's break free from that cycle and that just negative cycle. It could be so toxic because it's good to have life, work, balance. It's okay to pause. It's good to breathe. And it's good for your mental health as well. And that would then relate to your body. That would then communicate with your body. And then you are healthy within your body too. So not just work-life balance, life-work balance, okay? Life first, work, balance it. Not everything has to be fun and games, but not everything has to work so serious all the time. A balance would keep you healthy, mind, body, and soul. Absolutely 100% believe that. So maintain a healthy balance between work and your personal life. Okay? So, or within your personal life and work. Volunteering is the next tip. Why volunteer? Nori, you just said that we work because other than loving what we do and wanting to do something with our life and ourselves, we also need to get paid. So you're telling me to volunteer? I'm not going to get paid? What? Like, you know what? Volunteering is a great way to give back. So engage in volunteer opportunities for new experiences. Imagine you could volunteer at a shelter and you're not getting paid, but it's okay. Not everything we do, we are going to get paid, but you can do something good for others, do something good for humanity without feeling like, oh, I only did this because I'm going to get paid. If you do, that's great. If you are rewarded for it, that is awesome. Who doesn't like to be rewarded or recognized for something? But at the end of the day, isn't it refreshing to do something for someone else? Isn't it nice to give back to those who once opened the door for you and once gave you opportunity and helped you? Or simply just for the good of the order of just life and living and being a human and being able to make a difference and do something special and kind for somebody else. Volunteer at a shelter, volunteer at a soup kitchen, volunteer, help someone with a task, or just do a random act of kindness. I'm big on that. I love it. And it'll really impact someone else's day and life. It'll touch their heart. Maybe they were having a rough day. Maybe they were feeling hopeless, but then you did that and you served or you volunteered and you have a great experience and they were impacted. And then you also now have a good experience in your heart and in your life. So it boosts morale, but it also boosts like how you view the world around you when you're able and willing to volunteer. Okay, so it's awesome. So engage in volunteer opportunities and engage in those new experiences. It'll just shift your mindset about life. I love volunteering. So before I worked, I volunteered, and you'll learn a lot from volunteering. So the following tip is tip number 14 is mindfulness. So you see, all these connect for a purpose, for the good of the order. Mindfulness. Practice mindfulness to enhance focus and reduce your stress. Let's be intentional with not just our jobs, but ourselves. When you could take care of yourself, you can become a better leader. When you could have mindfulness with yourself and reduce your stress and know how to delegate and learn how to communicate effectively with people so that people are clear on what needs to be done, you are less stressed. You have a happier team. You are less stressed. You're not like at people. Let's not do that. No, no, no. We're not having that. But you know what? When you are in a stable place with your emotions and your mind, guess what happens? That communicates to everything else, even in your job. Many times people say, leave it at the door, like you're going through things, we're all going through things, leave it at the door. And you know what? We can seek wisdom from above on when and where and how to leave our issues at the door before you enter your workplace. But the reality of life is that we're humans and we're not like, we can't just all just shut things off, and just shift as soon as we walk through a door, because we're not all actors, okay? We can't just shift something because something, I'm not just saying like, oh, we're acting, but think about it like this. Maybe I went through something, it's bothering me, but it's not affecting me so dearly. And I could just shut it off, leave it at the door, walk in, okay, these people had nothing to do with it. I'm at work. I got things to do. I have a busy day. I don't got time for this. And then you put your poker face on, right? Yes. But sometimes you're going through legitimate life crisis, a legitimate something that's just affecting you. And you may not walk through the door like, hi, good morning. You may just be like, hey, good morning, or however you say good morning. And it's just hard because you're just probably at the verge of breaking down, and that's life. But we want to practice that mindfulness to know before heading to work, okay, I'm going through this. If you have to vent or cry or pray before you go to work, and you'll be in a better mental state and emotional place because you're mindful of and you're aware of what you're feeling. And then now, okay, I could go in and be an effective employee, be an effective leader. And it's hard, guys. It's challenging. It's life, but practice mindfulness. You'll be like, how mindfulness is going to play a role in my professional life? The more you practice mindfulness, the more you practice reducing your stress, that'll help you in your professional life as well, not just your personal life. Tip number 15, writing skills. If you want to innovate yourself professionally and grow and develop professionally, you have to learn to write an email, write a letter, take notes, anything writing related. We got to work at it, okay? Taking notes, how am I going to write a good email? Proofread that email. Maybe have someone review it. Everything. Writing is a form of expression. And sometimes some of us is like, man, that's my weakest trait. I can speak well, but sometimes writing is hard. It's okay. Speak it out while you're writing. Maybe have someone proofread it, as I mentioned. But writing skills is important everywhere in life, truly. Whether it's writing the letters to someone or just an email at work, it's part of communication skills, and it's good to write. We can't write in slang all the time. Whatever, you're writing a proposal, you're writing something, you have to know how to write. And there's free tools, videos, resources online. And the more you practice it and put it into work, the more you get more comfortable with it, and you improve over a period of time. That's just how it is with everything in life. Okay, so I'm not saying these tips, I'm perfect. I am far from it. Till this day, I reread things. I'm probably overthinking something. And have I made mistakes? Yes. It's just part of life. We probably all have. But on the other hand, I know that I have improved because it's more effective, it's more professional, and I like it. Okay, so tip number 16, problem solving. Conflict resolution, problem solving skills. Oh, no, right, but my job, there's just no problems. Profession, no problems. Like, problem solving skills, oh no, I don't want a place that's going to be toxic. I don't want to be in a place that's going to be like this. As peaceful and rainbows, butterflies, and fluffy clouds your job is, guess what? Sometimes there's conflict. There's problems everywhere, and we got to solve it. And maybe it's not a problem like within colleagues, or maybe it's not a problem with someone who you're serving at your job, but it could be case-by-case scenarios depending on what your field is. And it's essential for us to know, how would I deal in a situation if it got difficult? How would I deal in this situation or that? Knowing how to problem solve is knowing First of all, where your place is, depending on the situation, what you can do to be a peacemaker and ease the situation. First, you listen to people, think, and act. If it's something physical, act. Let's not just be a bystander. You could be that leader, that person, but if it's something verbal, how can we kind of like reduce the issue, the stress, the problem, retract to a solution rather than a conflict, and ease the situation, be a peacemaker, and solve, okay? Maybe you're not going to be the one solving it, but if you can't solve it, guide them, whoever the conflict is, on who can be the one to help with that situation, with the conflict, right? But you would overall help the atmosphere when you're able to mediate within a problem at your job. However, I'm going to go to the first thing I said, which is know your place. Sometimes it's not on us, but you can be part of helping someone ease the situation. I've been in situations where we've had to have problem solving, but guess what? I know when it's my time and turn to step in, and sometimes it's like that's not my place. I need to let people solve it, okay? So how can I not be a bystander in the moment is I could say, hey guys, let's be respectful. You have a problem with this, go to this person, you see, and let them step in. But it's hard. It depends what your field is, who you work with, knowing who's in charge of what, knowing whose place it is. But if it's something that gets more irate, let's not just be a bystander. You could be part of the problem or part of the solution. And I choose to be part of the solution. So we have to learn to have problem solving skills is so important, and knowing where you stand. Sharpen problem solving abilities through practicing. That's just how it's done. It's through practicing and having bravery and courage. Tip number 17 is financial knowledge. It's understanding the financial basics related to your field, and also having really good money management, having a good understanding of what you have, what you owe, what you can save, how you can manage your money. It's a good practice as well, and a discipline even when growing professionally or personally in your life. Tip number 18 is industry events. How do I grow professionally with knowing my industry events? Well, remember we mentioned collaborations, networking, events. You come together, you talk to people, you learn new things, you learn new tools and resources. Remember we spoke about technology and seeking mentorship. You could really network, do a high volume networking during events. That's the main idea. And how can you collaborate within an event? How can you take part in it as well and support others that are also doing a function at or role within an event in your field, in your department, in your job. So it's being present, it's showing up to the occasion. That's super important. When you're there and your presence, it's like you're being supported. All right, so tip number 19 is creativity. Now, why is creativity important? Is because you can cultivate your creativity for innovative thinking. You allow yourself to implement something new, expand your knowledge within your space, and be creative. Be able to put your hands on deck with something new that you can add to your job to benefit you and aid you at work, but also that can help others as well. And now you just started something new, and that can be something revolutionary, life-changing at work. So tip number 20 is cultural awareness. Could be very nice, especially when building relationships and communicating with others, is considering, being considerate and sensitive to others. Develop sensitivity to diverse cultures and backgrounds. Common respect for everyone, knowing that we all come from different backgrounds and cultures and religions even, and that's okay. It doesn't mean we can't be civil. It doesn't mean that we can't talk. It doesn't mean that we don't get along. It means that we could work together and have a good relationship still despite our differences, and I love that. Tip number 21 is resilience. Well, resilience can be built to handle challenges effectively. Okay, that means you could not be torn apart after the first conflict or issue in your job. It means that you can stick through and hold through a challenging time, and you build that resilience that's going to prevent you from giving up and just calling quits after any little inconvenience. And the following tip is personal branding. Now, all the tips I've shared is going to help with your personal. You can craft a strong personal brand to stand out professionally. When you are innovating yourself as a professional, you are building yourself, your brand, and you're going to stand out because you're trying your best and you're working in excellence. At least we could all strive for that, right? And the following tip is health and wellness. Prioritize your physical and mental well-being. Tip number 24 is team collaborations. Learn to collaborate effectively with diverse teams. Remember, we spoke about networking, collaborating, communications. This can help build and foster those relationships. That's going to also help you within your growth in your field, but also the experience of working in a team, the experience of conflict management. All this is going to go into place when you are trying to innovate yourself, not only personally, but professionally as well, which is so important as part of life. And the last but not least, tip number 25 is reflection. Now, why is this important? It's good to take a step back sometimes and self-reflect. Now, be careful not to overanalyze. Too much analyzation can cause you to just freeze up and overthink. But it's good to have self-reflection. It's good to pause and look inwards sometimes, because when you look inwards, you can see how far you've come, how well you're doing, but also search those areas that need improvement and those areas that you can innovate, right? So take time to reflect on your experiences and learn from them. I hope you got something from this video. If you got at least one thing that you can benefit from, all 25 tips, please give this video a big thumbs up down below. Give it a thumbs up, and I welcome you to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know when I post another video. It'll mean so much to me if you join my channel by subscribing. It's free. Thank you so much, guys. What are you waiting for? I look forward to having you in my upcoming video this week. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a good day.